All right, everybody. On behalf of Trident Title, Performance Title, and Synergy Title, I want to welcome you guys to 10 secrets that agents selling 100 homes a year do not want you to know. I've been looking forward to doing this for a little bit because I think there's some ideas in here that are a little out of the box. Some of you guys may have heard me just like mention some of these things, but we never really dove into them. And we've been focusing the last couple of weeks pretty much strictly on technology and how-tos with technology. And I don't want to say there's not some technology mixed in here, but these are really strategies, they're schedule choices, they're business choices, things that you need to do in your business. And what I did for this one is I asked a handful of people that I know that are doing, 100 plus homes a year, and took some things from back when we were doing it as well and put them all kind of into one class. There's really no rhyme or reason or order on this one, but I think if you guys write these down and you implement these into your business, you might not be at 100 homes this year. You might not even care to actually get there. But I will guarantee if you put some of these things into your business, you will sell more homes than you sold last year, or more homes than you thought you were going to this year, or be able to hit those goals quicker. And the next couple of weeks coming up, we're going back to some tech stuff. So I wanted to kind of switch this up. And thank you guys that are joining us on a holiday, because I apparently don't pay attention to calendars. So agenda, we're going to just dive right into this. I think all of you guys on the call, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but we'll jump right into the 10 secrets, and I won't have you on the whole time today. So you'll get off and be able to enjoy a day off with kids or family or pets or whatever it is that you're doing. Those of you that do not know me, my name's Ryan. I work with Trident Performance and Synergy to help you guys grow your business. I've been a single real estate agent. I've ran a really big team. I have ran and built a really huge office, and now I just work with you guys to help you grow your business. So we believe, all of our different sales reps and all the great people that we partner with, we believe that if we help you grow your business, we know that we're going to get some of that business back. So if you learned something on this call or any of the calls that we do, or in my private Facebook group, or on any of our one-on-one trainings, they're all free. All we ask is that you send us your opportunities for title business. We have a lot of our great reps on the call. I know I saw Melissa and Tracy. We have Gab and Dave as well, and then John and I. So if you guys need anything, reach out and let us know. We got a bunch more cool, fun things coming up. Sticking with the every Mondays, still at least through March, while in-person events are not really possible. And still sticking with all of our stuff we do with Paul Krasker. And we have a lot of great stuff coming up for you guys that are new, and some new technology pieces that we have acquired and bought over the last little while that I'm going to be bringing to you guys. So those of you that were on my call a while back about how to get data and how to do the absentee owners and all that fun stuff, we're probably about 1 week away from teaching that new program as well. So looking forward to that. So let's just dive right into these 10 secrets. The format for this, I'm just going to tell you like what the secret is and then give my thoughts on it. And I don't have anything after this, so I will stay on if you guys have any questions. And they're really in no particular order. This is not like a do 1 through 10. It's just 10 that I came up with and put them in whatever order. And the first one I stole from my friend Cody Gibson, who runs the number 3 team in the world in units. They did over 2,500 closings last year. And me and him are both really bad at golf, and we always kind of joke at that. So we're going to start with that. Number 1 is the bunkers and the sand shots. And if you ask any great golfer, if you've ever played golf, these are the deadly bunkers at St. Andrews. And if you know anything about golf, you'll know that. If not, it's irrelevant. But they're basically the hardest places to get out of. But they're strategically positioned in the most important spots, right in front of the greens. And if you know anybody that plays golf very well, it's very similar to people that play pool or billiards very well, in that they always have a plan. They don't just go out and just whack it, And those of us that are not very good at golf, like myself, or that play, once or twice a year for charity or friends, or because it's a drinking activity or whatever it is that you play golf for, we kind of get up to the tee, we do a practice swing that doesn't really mean anything, and then we just whack it. And then when we get to the next one, we do the same thing. And we hope we get our way further down the course, and, eventually somewhere between 5 and 18 shots later, we get into the hole. With professional golfers, they will intentionally put themselves in the sand or into the bunker. And while other people will look at those people and say, why the heck would they ever do that? It's so hard. It's strategy. They're putting themselves in a hard spot because it sets up the next shot, or it sets up the next thing. And what I want you to think about in real estate, this will be the only bad sports reference I use, but what I want you to think about in terms of real estate really is right now you need to go to the hard spots and you need to go there on purpose. So when you look at what people are doing in real estate right now that's working, and I don't want this to sound bad because I realize, it's not easy to sell a lot of houses, but what people are doing right now in a market that is pretty much doing it for us right now that's working is they're breathing, they're being alive, they're talking to some people, they have a pulse, they're answering their phone, and that's it. What we're not doing right now, and what a lot of people are not doing right now, is preparing for the next market of the moment, or going to the difficult areas, because there's a lot of layups right now. There's a lot of chip shots. There's a lot of, easy putts, if you will. And we're skipping out on the things that are tough. But what's going to come, whether it be 3 months down the line or 3 years, who knows? But there's going to be some kind of a correction in this market at some point. There has to be. Interest rates can't stay this low forever. Home prices can't keep rising faster than inflation and faster than employment and all those things. At some point, it's going to get difficult. And if we don't learn how to go to the hard spots and do the hard work now, when the big guns, or the people that are just kind of taking it easy right now, do shift to those things, it's going to be tough. So what I want you to think of is, identify a spot in real estate, and whatever office you're in, whatever company you're with. I know we have people from all different companies and all different offices and all different areas on the call. But what I want you to think of is, identify the hard spots, the people that are doing things that they don't really want to do, or the areas that people don't really want to go to, and figure out how you can get there. So I will tell you one thing that's almost completely stopped over the last year has been expireds. And if you look at expireds, not much is expiring, right? So people have said, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time on that. But expireds is a hard spot. It's something that people don't want to do. They don't want to make the phone calls. They don't want to do it. But right now it's a hard spot. And the people that are going there are just crushing it, because there's not as many people doing it, because they're just taking the layups. FSBO, same thing. A lot of people are very frustrated with FSBOs because they are selling. The truth is, if someone puts it on their house on the market and they do a halfway decent job of taking pictures and get within 5% or so of the price, they're selling. The hard spot is the FSBOs that have been sitting around, that are grumpy and angry that they haven't sold. Those are hard spots in our market right now. Some other things might be short sales. I think I saw Tracy is on the call, and she has done our short sale closings for years, and there's not as many now as there were many years ago. I guarantee that, actually, that there are not as many now as there were. But you have to look at it and say, why would I not go there now when not a lot of people are? Find the hard spots and go there. We need to always kind of be thinking of that next shot or that next move, and kind of be thinking of what that next market is. So anybody that's been following along with the mortgage forbearance, we're just starting to see this at a small level. But in my opinion, I think April is going to be where we really start seeing this, because April, if you don't know, is in Florida when property taxes are due. If they're not done or paid by the end of March, April is the month where these things start cracking down. And a lot of people haven't paid mortgages for a year, right? They made their last payment in February, and then the world started falling apart in March, and they stopped making payments. So those people, while they may get to work with their bank and put their payments on the back end of the loan and add some interest or whatever, one of the big things that people forgot about is that included in their mortgage payment is escrow payments. It covers their insurance, it covers their taxes. And those people that haven't made a payment for a year, they're going to have an awakening at some point, whether it's in the next couple months or maybe even in a year, who knows. But that's a hard spot right now, right? That's a hard shot to make right now. What do I need to do right now to not only nail this shot, nail what's going on right now, but what do I need to do to set myself up for the next one? So I want you to think, where's a hard spot that you're not willing to go, something that you just don't want to do? That's usually the best spot to be, because that means that the least amount of people are there. So when you're talking about these things, think about all the things that you say, I don't want to do. I'm not going to add that into my business. I don't want to do that. It's too hard. It's not fun. I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to spend the time, whatever it may be that one is. Think about that and add one of them into your business. I'm not saying just replace your business with things that work for you, but I want you to pick a sand shot or pick a bunker shot and, play in the sand a little bit, get in and find a hard spot and go there on purpose, not because a crazy guy with the shark filter on and the training told you, or because you want to, stray off of what is working. But I really want you to start planning what we think the hard spots are now and get there on purpose. So secret number 1, go to the hard spots on purpose. Let's continue. Secret number 2. This is a rule we used to kind of have on our team. And people that know that I used to recruit for a large franchise, this was kind of burned into the back of my head and will never go away. No matter what, you need to set one face-to-face appointment every single day. This is like a non-negotiable. If you want to make it in this business, you have to say, if I'm going to work today, I'm not one of those people that tells you to work 24/7 because I think that's miserable. But if you're going to put the boots on, you're going to lace up and go to work that day. I want you to realize that the only thing that matters that day is getting an appointment for that day or for the next day. Because if we're not generating new business, there's really nothing that we're doing that day that matters. We need to be focusing on generating new business, not just servicing old business. And I know some people get so wrapped up in that every time they have a deal going on, that's their number one focus. But what I want you to think of is, every transaction that you're a part of, there's 10 or 11 other people and businesses that are involved in that too that have to get paid. And if you're a day late on one thing or you miss something or whatever outside of the, the really important dates, somebody else is going to need to get paid and they're going to help get that thing figured out. So, you need to focus on, no matter what, generating one face-to-face appointment per day with someone that's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate in the next 90 days. And when you get that in your head, that that's the only thing that matters in business, and that's what you have to do first, you'll take a big step. And this is just a habit that you have to start today. I always hear people talking about how many contacts they made, and that's really great. But if you made 100 contacts today and you set no appointments, and I made 7 contacts and I made 1 appointment, I'm taking my schedule because I'm going to have more success, right? If you're just making contacts just for the sake of making contacts because you heard someone tell you that you need to make 10 contacts a day or 20 or 50 or 100 or whoever you're listening to, if you don't set appointments, it just doesn't matter how many contacts you make. So contacts don't matter, appointments do. Nothing else needs to be done until you set 1 appointment. There's no fires in real estate, right? If you're working with us on a title deal, we have the best people in the world. So somebody will figure it out. You need to set another appointment. I like this quote that I heard. I honestly don't know who said it, but I heard it one time. We only get in our business what we are unwilling to not have, meaning we're only going to get the things that no matter what, we're going to make sure that we get. And appointments is what that comes down to. So a lot of people, when I used to teach and train at Keller Williams, they used to always ask to see my schedule. That was like the popular thing. Everybody was into, what does your day look like or how do you make that work? And it was 2 appointments a day, every day. I only wanted to work 20 days a month. So to hit my numbers, I had to do 40 appointments. So it was 2 appointments per day, no matter what. And if you set those by like 9:07 a.m., meaning maybe you showed up to work or you showed up to wherever you're making your calls from and you started at 9 o'clock and, call number 1 and call number 3 were appointments, that to me, that's a successful day. And some days, it took you 12 hours to get there, but you have to be unwilling to not have appointments. You cannot look at your day and say, it's okay that I didn't set an appointment today. If you want to, be at this level, again, these are secrets of people that are selling 100 plus homes. So that's 2 homes a week. If you want to get to that number and build a business like that, you have to just say, okay, no matter what, every single day I'm going to work until I set an appointment. And when you get really bold and brave, make it until you set 2, because half the people won't show up. I used to track appointments like crazy. And the best times, the absolute best times when we weren't in a COVID world and the market wasn't insane, absolute best, only 2/3 of people would show up. Now I bet you that is way worse. All right, secret number 3, internet lead generation is a must, not an option. If you were on early, you probably heard me and Allison talking about this. As you guys know, I usually don't have a filter, but one of the questions I get all the time is I don't like internet lead generation. I don't like social media. That's great. Your customers do. And if you want to make it and survive in this business, you need to learn to adapt, period. It doesn't matter if you love internet lead generation or not. It's something that has to be done now. It's something that had to be done 10 years ago, by the way. But if you're just catching up now, that's okay. But it is a must. The consumer is there, so it's your job to get there, period. If the consumer is on Facebook every day, I'll be honest with you, I hate social media. I hate it. I hate people knowing where I am. I hate people knowing who I'm with. I hate people knowing what I'm eating. I hate it. I can't stand it. However, it's a necessary evil for the business that we've chosen to be in, right? Our consumer is there. When we look at our friends, our clients, they're on some social platform. 95% of them are, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram or Snapchat or Pinterest or TikTok or Clubhouse or whatever it is, they're on something, right? And we need to understand that for us to really get to that level, of selling a lot of homes, not just selling one whenever we get lucky, but really creating a business here, we have to understand that internet lead generation is a must. It's not an option. And when you do that, when you really understand that, I think your business will take a turn for the better just by you adopting that mindset that for us to succeed, we have to be generating leads on the internet, or we have to at least be found on the internet. I use this example with restaurants all the time. And the more that I think about it, the more I realize that I do it myself. So if you went to look for a restaurant, let's just say you were in a new town or you were trying to try out a new spot, I don't know about you, but the first thing I do is I look for them on social media. I look to see what other people's comments are. I look to see if there's reviews. I look to see what the pictures look like, maybe what the environment looks like, if it's something that I would want to go. A couple of you were on the call, I think it was 2 weeks ago when all the new Jupiter restaurants open. I had shared that I went there. The first thing I looked at was social media, just to see, what time are they open? Is there a happy hour? Is there a brunch? Do I have to make reservations or whatever? Our consumer is there, or the other businesses that we respect are there. And if you're not, people are not taking you serious. Imagine if you're, a real estate agent and someone's thinking about moving down from New York or Connecticut or New Jersey or Pennsylvania or wherever people are moving from nowadays. And, someone referred them to you. They said, you really should call Ryan. He's great. If that person went on and they searched for you and they didn't find you on social media, or they didn't find anything about you at all, a lot of people are just ending it right there. They're done. They've moved on. If they can't find a business that they want to do business with on social media within like 2 searches or 3 searches, that's it. It's done. So, this secret is very simple, right? But internet lead generation is a must. It's not an option. So if you don't have an internet lead generation strategy yet, get with Melissa Kidwell, Tracy Cinder, Gab Bryce, Dave Ward, or myself, and they'll connect you to me, and we'll come up with an internet lead gen strategy for you. And we could do it, in a 15-minute one-on-one that's going to help you get there. But I just want you to understand that in 2021, this is the year that it's not an option anymore. If you're going to be in this business past this year and you want to sell some houses and not just be in the business to pay the dues, internet lead generation is a must. It's no longer an option. Secret number 4, Borriellos. I'm pretty sure you're on the call, and of all the calls that I've done, you're the only people that I've seen doing it. So I stole yours. So thank you. Create one wanted post every week. So Vinny and Melissa Borriello are clients of ours in Wellington, and they send out this really great newsletter, which I've talked about on here before. And every week that they send this thing out, they put one of their wanted ads in there. And this is how simple it is, right? This is an easy one. And there were more complicated ones, but I wanted to grab an easy one that I saw from one of their email newsletters a couple months ago. That is so simple. Like, Melissa, I don't know if you can hear me or if you can unmute, but can you, in serious, Melissa, because I know you're going to joke with me, but in serious, Melissa, can you just tell me or type in the chat how long it took you to make this wanted flyer? Whatever the honest answer is, just tell everybody.
5 minutes.
Thank you. So what they do is they create one of these with all of their newsletters, all their content, and it's great, right? It's not super sophisticated. It like she said, it probably took them 5 minutes, and I would imagine she made it on Canva or something really simple and probably didn't bust out Photoshop to make this. But what you want to do is create one of these every single week. So it does a couple of things. Number 1, it shows that you're busy. It shows that you're churning, that you're out there doing something. Number 2, it's going to make your current buyers happy, because these are the people, someone might see this and realize, like I guarantee you, Melissa's client that's looking for a condo with a boat slip in Palm Beach County, I will bet money that that client saw this and they looked at that and said, there's nothing on the market, right? We've been looking, we've seen everything on the market, because I'm sure Melissa and Vinny sent them everything or got their butts or their feet into everyone that was available on the market that fit them. And they couldn't find something, right? It didn't work. There wasn't any inventory. It wasn't the one they wanted, whatever. So now imagine your current client is on your newsletter or your email list or your social and sees that now you're going above and beyond trying to connect with other real estate agents and other people in your database to help find them something that doesn't exist right now. So it helps your current clients realize that, hey, I got to be loyal to this guy or girl because they are going above and beyond. They're trying to do something for me that nobody else is doing. I wasn't just the Pop-Tart realtor that someone called on my phone. I popped up, I went and showed it, and then I sat back down and there was nothing available. And then I complained that there's no inventory. I was doing something different to try to help this client. So we need to create one of these things every week. The goal is to what we call stop the scroll. So if you're going to post this on social media, if you're going to post this on an email, we want to do something that when that person's just flying down, right? They're rolling their finger down the mouse ball or, on the trackpad or whatever the heck we use to scroll now, or flipping through with our thumbs. and it's scrolling down, we need to create some piece that grabs enough attention to stop the scroll. And those wanted ads do it every time. And then when you put a little picture in there that just says, hey, all we're looking for is a condo with a boat slip. Nice and easy. So anybody that has a condo with a boat slip could reply to that in email or in text or shoot Melissa a message or whatever and say, hey, I got one. What do you need? Why are you looking for it? And then it opens up that conversation and gives them an opportunity to do a deal. It works for current buyers, like we talked about. It also works for your buyer and seller prospects, because when they see this, you're encouraging them to want to work with you. Because if they've worked with another realtor before that isn't doing this, they're seeing this in the emails. And maybe they're 6 months out from buying right now, but maybe they see this email today, or it went out whenever. I think this was like 2 months ago that I stole it from their email, but whatever. It went out, let's say 2 months ago, and they see wanted condo with a boat slip. And then 2 months later, they get their newsletter and Melissa and Vinny found one, right? And they sold them, they sold this prospective buyer a condo with a boat slip in Palm Beach County. And then they put on the, hey, here's what we did this month. Hey guys, remember that condo with a boat slip that you guys helped us find? Well, guess what? We sold buyer A and buyer B the condo with a boat slip. And now it shows, okay, these people went above and beyond. They found something that didn't exist or that was off the market, and then they sold them something. So it proves to your future buyer and sellers, the people that just have it in their head that they're thinking about buying and selling, that, yeah, sure, we're going to show them whatever's on the market. But if we can't find something, we're going to go to work for you and find something extra. So you can get that thing, I would imagine, on Canva. You can Google it. You can buy free clip art. They're everywhere. They're really not difficult to create. But do one of these once a week and get it out across all mediums. So get it on your social media, get it in your email blast, get it on your stories. If you have nothing to call your database about, or you have no reason to connect, call them and just say, hey guys, I just want to check in and see how you're doing. And I'm just curious, do you know anyone in Palm Beach County that has a condo with a boat slip? Because we have a client that's looking up to whatever, 500,000, that really wants to just buy a condo with a boat slip somewhere in Palm Beach. Who do you know? And if you don't have a reason to connect, it's nice and easy, and it gives you a reason to connect. So creating one of these every single week. And if you run out of ideas on who to do it for, make up one that's obvious, right? So if you don't have any buyers right now, or you don't have enough buyers, come up with an obvious one right now. Like, think about what would sell in like 1 second right now. Like a 3-bedroom single family home in Jupiter under 400,000 would sell in 1 second, right? And pretty much in all of the markets that we serve, that will sell in 1 second. So stop the scroll and create one of these things every single week, no matter what. Number five. This is probably where you guys are really going to start hating me, because you have to go outside and we have to go talk to people. Visit one FSBO or expired door every single day that you work. Now, notice it doesn't say call one FSBO or expired every day that you work. It says visit one FSBO or expired door, meaning actually get out of the car and go to their door, one of them, every single day that you work. And I know this may seem overwhelming, but the reality is most of us work 4 or 5 days a week. And I know some of you are saying 6 and 7, and that's great, but do this 4 or 5 days a week. And right before you leave the office, look at expireds from yesterday, or if you're doing old expireds, great. Or if you have FSBOs, great. And just look at one that's on your way home, or that's, somewhere that's 5 minutes before or after where you're going to pick up your kids or grab dinner or go to the gym or go to the bar or whatever it is that we do. It is very easy to plan one of these into our day every day. It might not be you to do an everyday, a whole full day of FSBOs or expireds, but it's very easy to just make sure that we hit one a day. It's really not that difficult to just hit one of these things a day. Could be on your way to the office. It could be on your way home from the office, to and from the gym, whatever it is. But pick one that we're going to do every day. One thing we know is FSBOs, they all have at least one hand up, right? They already want to sell. They just hate realtors. They don't want to pay commission, whatever. The expireds have both hands up. They want to sell and they're okay paying. We know that because they were just listed. So they want to sell. FSBOs and expireds, both hand number one. Expireds, number two, they already have agreed that they're going to pay someone. They just didn't pay the right person, or they didn't take that person's advice. So we don't have a lot of hurdles to get through here. If you show up, things can happen. You just never know, whose door you're going to knock on or who you're going to meet pulling into the driveway, that we get lucky and have a conversation and they like you. You have to be in the way for good things to happen. If we're not there, nothing is going to happen, right? But if we are there and we hit one a day, every day, so we hit 5 or 6 opportunities per week, you're going to grab one of them over the course of time for sure. You guys that are on this call, this is kind of a joke, but it's kind of serious. Like, you all chose to be in real estate. No one forced you into real estate. No one held a gun to your head and said, you have to go and pretend to sell real estate, right? You guys chose to be in a people-centric business. If you're going to do that, we need to interact with people, right? We need to talk to humans. We're in a business that requires us to talk to people. So why not talk to the people that already have at least one hand up? Why would you choose to cold call the yellow pages or to, hope that the phone rings when we have data available that shows us people that already have decided that they want to sell? So we've already overcome the big objective of getting them to sell. Now we just have to figure out how we can help them or how we can get paid on it. So make sure, if you're following along here so far, that was number 5, one FSBO or expired door every single day that you choose to work. All right, onward. Number 6, send a custom, and the keyword here is custom. I probably should have marked that up in quotes or bold or something. Send a custom buyer phishing email. We call it a buyer phishing email every single day. What I mean by custom is not, and I'm not saying to stop doing these, but I'm not counting the ones that we set up 18 months ago for an internet lead that we talked to on the phone one time, and we made a very broad MLS search that sends them something marked on the button that says ASAP or once a day, but not on Sundays, that shows them the new properties that came on the market. What I'm talking about here is something custom that makes them think that you are thinking about them. Because while there still are people that really do believe that you're working at 4 a.m. sending out those automated, MLS emails, I'm talking about something custom that really gets to them. So some examples here. First of all, custom is key. We've beaten that up already. Second could be a quick video. And let's say you're in a house. Maybe you're previewing it. Maybe you're 10 minutes early for a showing. Maybe your client didn't show up, or maybe you are finishing up and your client already left, whatever. Maybe it's even when they're there. If you want to really drive some urgency, do it while they're there. Be bold. Right? Walk around and just say, hey, Joe, I thought of you. I'm in this 3-bed, 2-bath townhome for $299. It made me think of you. Do you want to buy this house? Right? And just be that bold and that direct. We don't need to do some huge sales pitch or know all the stats or all the numbers right off the top of our head, but pick one reason why you think it fits for them and then connect them. So you might just literally hold up your phone while you're in this townhouse and say, hey, Joe, this is the lowest priced per square foot townhouse on the market right now in West Palm. Do you want to buy this? I think it's a great deal. Or this is the best deal east of 95 right now. Or, hey, check out this pool. I was walking through this house and I saw it and I thought of you. It's not the MLS send, right? Because everybody's doing that. If they're on your auto sends, they're on somebody else's auto sends as well, right? If they have an auto send for you, they have one from Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia and Homes.com and 17 other realtors' websites. But who is actually looking out for them in a custom way that really shows that they're thinking about them? And this doesn't have to be for every buyer you've ever had in your life. It might just be for your top 10 or your top 20. We used to have this big board that we put on the wall, and it just said what we have buyers looking for and what we have sellers looking to get. So if I have to go back to the boat slip thing, maybe I have a buyer looking for a condo with a boat slip under 500,000. So to me, anytime I go in or I am around a condo with a boat slip that's under 500,000, I'm just going to do a quick 10 to 30 second video and just say, hey, Joe Smith, I know you're looking for that perfect condo, with the boat slip under 500,000. Well, guess what? I'm in one right now. And I think this is the best deal out there. It's dated and it's ugly, but it's under your budget. And you could probably get this thing at a steal and really get some equity in here. Or check out this view. Or look, there's your boat slip, right? And just point down to it where there's an empty boat slip, whatever it is. And then ask them, be direct. Don't just send it to them. Say, hey, are you ready to buy this house? Do you have any interest? Can I book you a showing? And really connect with them. So a custom, again, custom is the key word on there. Send a custom buyer phishing email every day, at least one. Every single day that you're going to work. So if you're going to work, get out there and work for your buyers. By the way, just thinking of this now, but this could work for a seller too. What if you have a buyer that pops up? Let's say you went on a listing appointment a month ago, and it was a 3-2 house in Wellington for $350,000 with a pool on the lake. And that person said, I'm a little scared because if I sell this thing, I know I can clean up a bunch of money, and I know rates are great, and I know Trident Performance and Synergy are going to get this thing closed quickly. But the problem I have is that when I close this thing, I don't know where the heck I'm going to go. So I'm scared to put it on the market, get 500 showings in the first week and 1,100 offers and, be able to sell the house right away. But then I don't want to be homeless. I don't know what to do. So imagine we flip this that we're talking about right now, right? Imagine we send it the other way. So let's say we pick up a buyer now that is looking for a 3-2 pool home in Wellington on the lake for whatever number I said, under 400,000. And now you have the match, right? We have the matchmaker. However, we now can kind of customize that time frame, because now we can call our seller, our prospective seller, and say, hey, I know we had met last month and you were so worried about the time frame and making these things work, but guess what? Found the best buyer, really great group of people. They're looking to buy, but they're a little bit scared too. They can get out of something, but they don't really have anywhere to go. So I think this would be a great match. Can I bring them by and maybe we can put this thing together and you could sell this house and not be on that strict, time crunch of doing it on the market. So, we could do this with a seller just as well as we could do it with a buyer. All right, number 7, have a fixed follow-up day every single week. So this, we're talking one day where you put it in your calendar every week, and the only thing you do that day is follow up. And it's going to be nice and simple. Ideally, it's the same day every week. So maybe it's Wednesdays, maybe it's Thursdays, maybe it's Tuesdays, whatever. Personally, if it was me, I wouldn't have this day be Monday or Friday, because Monday always seems like we're cleaning up messes from the weekend, or dealing with offers or showings or whatever came in over the weekend. And Friday, you're usually setting up the weekend or already at happy hour. So I would pick a day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, one of the middle days, and spend just one whole day on follow-up. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but I guarantee you, however many people are on this call, 38 right now, I guarantee you, every one of us, if we took 10 seconds, could think of one person that we haven't followed up with recently or that we should follow up with. And most of us could probably think of 100 of them, right? Or we know that somewhere in a database or in our email or in our Google Calendar or in a pile of sticky notes are hundreds of people that we need to follow up with. Pick one day every single week, no matter what, and just focus solely on follow-up. I heard this quote that I love: lead generation will get you a sale, right? But follow-up will actually get you a business. So if you want to create this and run this as a business, instead of just lead generating to get one deal and then we're done, and then we lead generate again and we get a deal and then we're done, and we just go on the roller coaster where we go up and down, pick a day every week, no matter what, and just follow up with everybody that you got. Melissa on the call is really good at this. Dave Ward too is really good. Like, they just pick one day and they just hit all their follow up in one day. And usually for all of us, me too, by the way, it's a miserable day, right? It's not that fun. We sit in bed or sit on the couch or sit looking at the beach or whatever and just do a bunch of follow up. And it's never fun, but it usually turns into other opportunities after we're doing that. And here's a nice, simple script. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I just wanted to call and follow up. You're telling them exactly what you're doing. And it may have been a month, it may have been a week, it may have been 3 years. But it's just, hey, John, it's Ryan over at XYZ Realty. Just wanted to give you a call and follow up. And whatever your notes say, you can just say the last time we talked. There is a good chance that they don't remember the last time you talked, how long ago it was. Maybe it was weeks, maybe it was months, maybe it was years. But we're literally just reminding them that we're doing what we told them we would do. So, hey, John, it's Ryan. Just wanted to call and follow up on your house buying process. Have you fixed your credit yet? Have you saved some more money? Are you ready to get going? Did you get out of your lease yet? Whatever. If you need anything real estate related this week, just give me a call. That's it. And you can leave that same thing as a voicemail. So I know someone's going to say, should I leave a voicemail? Yes. Hey, John, it's Ryan over at XYZ Realty. Just want to call and follow up about your home buying process. If you need anything real estate related this week, give me a call. That simple. But consistency, right? Doing it one day per week, every single week, no matter what, no matter if it's a fake holiday or whatever it is, we're going to do it no matter what, every single week. Number 8, a little weird, but this is a secret that people that sell 100 homes a year don't want you to know. Put your sign in the yard once the buyers close. And what you need to do is build a system around this that helps your current buyers and it helps future buyers. And you build this right into your presentation. But what you do is, let's just say we close on a house. Melissa buys a house and it closed on Friday. And I tell her, not the day of or not when she's moving, and I don't show up in the middle of the night and just bang the sign into the yard. I tell her, hey, look, this is what we like to do. I like to help my buyers that we're working with now generate new opportunities, new leads, new people, and help our prospective clients. So here's all I ask. When we close on your house, let's just say it's Friday, whatever day Friday was, 12th. Let's say we close on Friday the 12th. Would you mind if I throw my sign in your yard for the first 2 weeks? No cost to you. I'll come pick it up whenever you get sick of it. And if you did a good job, 99% of the time, they're going to say yes. And if they say no, just say no problem. But we're going to throw your sign, your own sign, in the yard. So one of the things I love is real estate math. I could do 3%, 6% of like anything. And people always say that I'm a complete nerd with numbers. One of the things that I can guarantee you, and this is the only math I'm good at, but one thing I can guarantee you is 50% of all the business that gets done in real estate is buyers, right? Because if someone sells something, somebody's got to buy it. That's the only way the business gets done. So we know that no matter what, 50% of all the business out there is buyer business. So if we're just skipping out on buyer business, we're missing out. I get it. There's leverage in listings. I totally get that. I understand 100%. I get the model. I get why we go after listings. But 50% of all business is found from working with buyers, or comes to us by working with buyers. So have your sign, put it in the yard, and put a rider or a sticker that says buyer found by your team name or your group or your name or whatever it is. And what's going to happen is, first of all, 25% of the people are not even going to read the sign. And when they drive by, if they have a question, they're going to call the number that's on the sign because they didn't pay attention, because that's just how people are, right? We've all done it. And then the other people are going to look at that and see that, and they're going to say, huh, so these people actually found the buyer for that house. Maybe I'm a prospective seller. I wonder if they have any other buyers, right? It gives us an opportunity at seller leads. So we're going to have an opportunity there for seller and for buyer leads. Some are going to get sign calls just because there's a sign in the yard and you get sign calls. Yes, we still do get sign calls. And some of them are going to say, hey, look, that real estate agent is really out there, right? They're actually out there doing something. We need to create a system around that so your buyers can help out your future buyers. So secret number 8 is putting a sign in the yard, even if you didn't have the listing. Secret number 9, doing the social media A to Z once a month. And what I want to tell you about this is, first of all, pick your choice of social platform. Ideally, if you use a lot of them, just rotate. But Facebook is the easiest one to do because it's usually full names. And I know there's fake names in there and other junk in there sometimes, but 95% of the people on Facebook have a real name, whether it's the first name or the last name or a nickname or whatever. But you want to pick whatever your choice of social platform is and pick one letter per day and just attack that one letter, right? We've talked about this with calls where you pick 2 letters a week and you call them. If you're going to do this, pick a letter per day, or it could be per week, I guess, if you want. But the idea really is per day. And we're going to send everyone that starts with that letter or ends with that letter, however you're doing it. So maybe you're doing your A's. So we're going to call Adam and Anna and Annalise and Annabelle and whatever other A names there are. And we're going to send them a DM, a direct message, if you don't know what that is. Not a post. We're not just going to post on their wall so everybody and their brother sees it. We're going to send them a direct message. And if you know anything about messaging, especially on social, people will answer that more than they'll answer their phone, more than they'll answer their emails, more than they'll answer a door knock. So we're going to send them a DM, a direct message for that day. Now, it doesn't need to be real estate related. It can be if you want, but the goal is that it's not real estate related. We're just going to come up with the question of the month, and we're going to send that question of the month to everybody. So, for instance, in September, August, whenever people go back to school, it might just be, hey, Adam, just checking in, want to see how you're doing, see if you need anything, and curious if your kids are ready to go back to school. Right? Pick something that's not like a holiday so that we don't offend anybody or guess the wrong religion or whatever. Just come up with one question a month and do your social media A to Z's. So if you work, there's 26 letters in the alphabet, so you can take still somewhere between 2 and 5 days off a month doing this. But every month, it's something that's consistent. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, that's going to be annoying. And you're right. Some people, you know what, if they're annoyed, they're not going to answer or they're going to unfriend you. And that's okay, because you weren't going to get business from them anyway. And other people are going to respond. And you're going to get to a point where you have a ridiculous amount of constant conversations going on through Facebook Messenger. And that's a good thing, because that's more contacts than most of us are making on a day, a week, or a month anyway. So if you're someone that's worried about picking up the phone, or you didn't like the door knocking idea before, or you don't want to do the on purpose sand shot and get in a tough spot, do the social media A to Z, one letter per day, and go through your whole entire social following every single month. And there is no way that you cannot possibly drum up business that way. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible to not drum it up. Come up with that question of the month. Just think of one thing every single month that, either is important to you or that you want to ask, or maybe that is a trendy topic going around. Ideally, nothing to do with politics, religion, holidays, things like that. Just pick something that you can ask every single month. So it might be the end of school. It might be the kids starting school. It might be, are we doing anything for 4th of July? Do you have any plans for the new year? Things that you're always safe on. Do you have any financial goals for the year? Are you looking for any vendors or anybody to do any work around your house? I would do interest rates right now, right? Do we know interest rates are insanely low? Have you thought about a refi, moving up, moving down? All those fun kind of things. Social media, A to Z, once every single month. Last but not least, number 10, send an unsolicited CMA. This is the only kind of unsolicited thing that people want, right? And we're going to act like it's a random selection, but it's not. It's going to be very strategic, and we're just going to send it. We're not going to overthink it. We're not going to worry about the accuracy, right? Look at Zillow, the Zestimate. That's been successful for how many years now? And they don't care that it's never accurate. People just want to have an idea of what their home is worth. And when they think it's worth a certain amount, or if it gets to a certain number in their head, that triggers something that says, hey, maybe it's time to sell. Maybe it's time to refi. Maybe we can move up. Maybe we can move down, right? So here's a very simple script. If you send it in email, or if you send it in text, however, even direct mail, however you want to send it. Hey, I was doing some research on your real estate holdings, meaning your house, right? It looks like your house might now be worth as much as whatever number. And that is all the work that you have to do. Send it along, right? Then put it in there, fold it up, and put it in the mail. Or send it along as a PDF, or send a picture of it as a text, however you want to do it. We'd love to chat with you about it. That's it. And you're just going to send it strategically to people that you think it might make sense. Now, in a perfect world, it would be great if you sent this to your whole database every month. I realize that is insanely difficult and a lot of work. However, if I just sold someone a house last month, I probably wouldn't send this now, right? Because there's not that much of a chance that someone's moving. However, if you're someone that's been in this business for 10 years, I sure as heck would send this to anyone you sold a house to in like 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, because we know they have equity, right? We know the interest rate is lower now. So even if they stay, we can help them. We know no matter what, their house is worth more and they have more equity, and a better interest rate could help them. It might chop 10 years off their loan. It might get them to move up, might get them to move down, whatever. It's stirring the pot. So send an unsolicited CMA. Just randomly send it. Don't do the corny, hey, would you like to set an appointment with me to see what your home is worth? Just send it, because the people are not going to go out of their way to ask you or raise their hand and tell you that they're thinking about selling, because they don't want to be sold something. However, if you did a deal with a client in 2011 and you sold them a house for $250, and now that house is worth $350, and they weren't thinking about it because they have a life, right? Maybe they were doing something, maybe they've been working, maybe they started a new business, had a kid, had a divorce, got married, whatever the heck they did in these 10 years that we haven't followed up with them, or we haven't talked to them enough. Selling wasn't on the top of their mind. However, if in their inbox or their mailbox or their text or their Facebook message, they see that you remember them, and even if you didn't sell them the house, by the way, if you know when they moved, somebody else could have done it. It doesn't matter who it is that does it. But when we look at this and they all of a sudden get this number that says, hey, your house might now be worth as much as 500,000, and they know, wow, didn't we buy it for like 300? This is crazy. Maybe we should talk to this guy or girl, right? It's just a nice, easy way to stir the pot. But you should be sending out like at least one of these a day, or at least 5 or 10 of them a week. And when you get good at doing a CMA, it doesn't have to be the full detail one like you're going on a listing appointment. You can do an all-out one with comps and numbers and everything when you go on a listing appointment. Just do an automated value, or do RPR, whatever those silly programs are. If you want to use one of those, just do one of those. HomeBot we have, which is great. Use any one of those things, get an about value, and send that along, right? And see what that number is going to be, and see if that stirs the pot. And they might just reply and say, don't care, leave me alone. Great. They might reply and say, wow, didn't think it'd be worth that much, right? Or they might reply and say, oh my God, didn't think so, but hey, come check it out, right? Nice, easy way to stir the pot. No matter what happens, it's an easy touch. It's an easy way to get in front of people. So in summary, let's fly back through 10 of these real quick in case I was too fast on any of them. Number 1, bunkers and sand shots. Figure out what the hardest part is in the business right now. Go there, because no one else is there. There's a very good chance that whatever path is harder has the least amount of people on it, right? Number 1.5, if you're bad at golf, don't go in the bunkers. Number 2, set one face-to-face appointment per day, no matter what. Don't leave the office or leave your room or your house area, workspace, or whatever, until you set one face-to-face appointment, no matter what. And yes, that could be Zoom if you don't want to go out still. I get it. But set something where you can get face-to-face with someone, whether it be in Zoom, coffee, lunch, dinner, whatever it is. Set one face-to-face appointment per day, no matter what. Number 3, internet lead generation is a must. It is not an option. So if you don't have an internet lead generation plan in place, and I'm not saying you have to pay for things. I'm not telling you to go out and spend money, but internet lead generation is a must, not an option. Number 4, create one wanted post every single week for a buyer that you may have looking, or investors, or anybody that you have looking to kind of stir up the pot. Number 5, visit one FSBO or expired door. Actually get out of your house and go to one FSBO or expired every single day that you choose to work. Number 6, send a custom buyer phishing email or text every day, at least one every single day. Number 7, have a fixed follow-up day every week. Pick one day per week and just bang out all your follow-up in that one day. Could even be a floating day, right? What I like to do for me personally is I like to make that a rainy day, because if it's me, I like to go out and play outside when I can. But if I look at the week and maybe Wednesday was going to be my follow-up day, but Thursday is obviously going to rain, make it Thursday, right? Do it the day where you're not going to do anything else anyway, or whatever kind of your schedule plays around, do it on that day. Number 8, put your own sign in the yard once your buyers close with a branded thing or a rider or a sticker that says home sold by or buyers found by. Number 9, do the social media A to Z once every month. Pick a question of the month and attack on social media. It's like guerrilla warfare. Number 10, send an unsolicited CMA. Randomly, just send it out to people that you think it might be a good idea for them to sell, or people that you sold homes to a while ago, or people that you want this to be strategic, right? People that that have a lot of equity or have a really crappy rate or anything like that. If you have not already joined this Facebook group, I'm going to put this link in the chat. Give me 1 second, and I will put this up for you guys. I have a private Facebook group that we started just to make sure that you guys always get in on the classes. And also I have some scripts in there and a whole bunch of different things in there that I will always be updating for you guys, so that if you want to kind of follow along and get additional resources and tips and tricks and all that stuff you have. So I'm going to throw that in the chat for you in 1 second here. I know some of you did already. If you did, it's all good. But if you haven't yet, for whatever reason, jump in on that, because I think that will help you guys. And Kara, thanks as always for the slides and the graphics and everything. If you want the replay, reach out. We'll start getting it done as soon as I'm done here with this. Reach out to Melissa Kidwell, Tracy Sender, Dave Ward, Gab Bryce, or myself, and we will get it to you guys tonight. Those of you that are already sending us business, we appreciate it. Of course, if there's anything we can do to earn your business, please let me know what we can do to work with you guys. Coming up Thursday, we have a class with called Better Call Paul, which we have our attorney Paul Krasker on every single week. And this week he's discussing permits. So this is one thing that we have been hearing about a lot, is what do I do if title finds a permit? Because in theory, it really isn't our job to close the permits. And truthfully, we can't close the permit for you. Somebody has to do it. So we've had a lot of interesting ones. Me and Paul talk about this almost every day with people, what they're doing to close deals with open permits, or how they're working to get them closed out. So if you want to learn about permits and something that you're not, too sharp on, join us Thursday for that. Next Monday, we don't have an official title yet, but it's going to be something along the lines of data is the new gold, or data is the new oil. So we have a really great data program that we have rolling out. And whoever's on the class, you guys are going to get the first opportunity to try it out. It will allow you to get data for neighborhoods and mortgages and equity and all these fun things. A lot of what we talked about today for very cheap. Legally, we actually cannot give it to you for free. Nobody can. But it is literally like cents on the dollar. It's ridiculously cheap. So we're rolling that out. Monday is the goal to teach that. We're still kind of in the demo phase, so it might be a little bit choppy, but we're going to roll that out next week. So join us for those. And other than that, we will see you guys next time. The link for the Facebook group is in the chat. So if you want to join that, let me know. And everybody else, hope you guys have a great day. If anybody has any questions,